So, if I just woke up. If it looks like I'm tired, wore out, a little out of it, it's because of that reason. I was up till like 2 or 3 in the morning playing Resident Evil 7. Got a definitely full experience playing it on the VR, which I'll go more into detail. Um, so, yeah, let's get started with the review. Resident Evil 7. So, the game starts off with you playing as Ethan. He is a character who had a wife named Mia, and she's been gone for 3 years. Until one day where he gets an email by her saying that she wants him to meet her in Louisiana, where she was at. So he ends up traveling down there, and he ends up finding this house, this abandoned looking house. When he starts searching, he finds out that Mia was in prison there and that they must escape from the house. Apparently, it is too late. They end up getting kidnapped. He ends up finding out about this guy named Daddy, quote unquote, um, and he has a whole family there, the Baker family. And the Baker family is very deranged looking, they just look very fucked up. Anyways, so yeah, you get kidnapped by the Baker family and you get held prison there with Mia, and you must figure out a way to help her and save her and also try to escape yourself. So this game was very hyped, very controversial at the same time, mainly because a lot of fans and a lot of people in general were used to Resident Evil being that whole combat experience in the newer series. Well, they decided to switch it up. They wanted to go back to well, I shouldn't say go back because they didn't want to feel like they were going backwards in the gaming community, but they wanted to do something that was different, something that was new, and it was definitely different from what I've experienced in a lot of the Resident Evil games. Maybe more towards like the older games, like the first one and the second one, but it's definitely a different experience from what you experience in the newer Resident Evil games. I was excited to play this game. I played the demo and it freaked me out a whole lot. It was a lot of fun to play, and it was just puzzling at the same time because it had multiple endings to the demo to where you had to find the certain items, every single item that was in the demo, to help you see the full experience, which wasn't really much of a difference, but still. And also they did have a lantern demo, which wasn't playable for people, just mainly during a certain thing that was going on. I can't remember what it was, but it also was really cool to see because I watched a lot of the videos for it and it was pretty freaky. And yeah, so anyways, I did have this on the VR, so because it is accessible on the VR, and it was a full experience. It was very freaky. I mean, there was a lot of moments where I got freaked out to where I felt like I was going to have a near heart attack from having stuff right in my face, to one of the family members getting up in my face, to freaking animals doing a whole jump scare routine on you, to, I mean, it was just, I mean, the whole atmosphere was so cool to see in VR motion. They did have the 40 cent candle, but there was no way I was getting that. Just, that's bound for danger. Accidentally knocking that over, that would be bad. And I felt like it wasn't really necessary. But if you did get that, please feel free to say something about it. Tell us how it is with the scented candle. I'm honestly curious on what it smells like. But anyways, so the game, it's just like, it was freaky. The atmosphere was cool. The family themselves were freaky as fuck. And I mean, just the whole storyline was pretty interesting to read. I mean, it wasn't a great storyline, but it was still something that was gonna help you want to see what happens. And I mean, just the characters themselves was pretty interesting. There was even some references that I got from the past Resident Evil games that was actually cool to see. Same thing with some other certain medias. I mean, there was one certain scene where you're fighting one of the family members. He ends up grabbing an item that's kind of close to a chainsaw, and he ends up saying groovy. And if you don't get that reference, it's from the Evil Dead movies, which are good movies. And I mean, I just thought it was very funny when he said that. There was definitely a couple comedic scenes in it, comedic lines, I guess I should say, and some questionable things that happened throughout the game. I haven't beat it yet, but I got through a lot of it, hence staying up for 3 to 4 hours. Um, it was a lot of fun, though. I liked it, and I can't wait to see how the whole game plays out. I can't speak for how it will play out without VR, but I'm sure it'll still be a creepy experience. I feel like they did it mainly for the VR, just to give people that, just to see what people would think of it as a horror game, being inside of the game pretty much. And it definitely was different experience than what I've played with on the VR, and it freaked me out so much. But it was so much fun to play on. And if you do have questions on about how the VR plays, because believe me, I wasn't sure how the VR was going to play out with this game, but they actually made it to where it was really easy to get down, and I was glad about that because I wanted to play it in the VR to get the full experience. But I was a little worried about how it was going to be. But it actually was a pretty easy control type thing to do with the VR. But yeah, the game is a lot of fun. Definitely one you must try out. It's very freaky, has a lot of spooky features in it. Um, it's a somewhat so-so storyline, not exactly the greatest storyline ever. There is, if you played the demos, the lantern, and also when the people go through the house, the first demo that they released out, you do see those in the game, and you do get to replay those as well, which is cool. And it does, I promise you, it does have some sort of way to where it connects to the game, which I was glad that they did that. I was glad that they still put those in for you to enjoy and also see how it connects to the game. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, it's a really fun game. If you are curious about it, try it. Definitely try it out. If you have the VR, definitely try it on the VR. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna have to give this game a 9 out of 10, mainly because it does have an interesting storyline, somewhat, and it's got some pretty interesting characters, creepy atmosphere, but maybe not exactly one that's gonna be one that I could say gets me hooked in. It's definitely one I'm gonna be interested in. I can't speak for it if it's gonna be a game that I'll play over and over again. I mean, I'm sure if I beat it, maybe I will, but it's not one I would figure a lot of people are gonna probably play once and just be done with, especially if you're just wanting to experience it on the VR. But I'm a Resident Evil fan, so I'm sure I'll probably enjoy playing it a couple more times. So what did you guys think of it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? What did you guys think of the new character? I know he's not exactly Leon or Jill or anything like that, but he's still a pretty interesting character. Comment below, let me know, and also tell me what your favorite Resident Evil game is. Mine would have to be between either the first one or the fourth one. I kind of like the stories in the fourth one, but the first one, it's a given. Alright, you guys have an awesome day. Peace out.